Hi, I'm Jewel Harley. In this Alaska Packraft School episode, we're talking about how to rig your boat. There's lots of styles of rigging and setting your boat up for adventure. This is geared specifically towards whitewater river users. So you got your Packraft, you fit it so it fits your body. Now we need to rig it appropriately for river environments. If you look at a whitewater kayak, they don't have any straps or cord attached to it, but they have grab loops, 2 on the back welded in and 1 in the front welded in. A lot of these boats, we can grab them by the rigging, the thigh straps. That's the center part of the boat, similar to a cockpit in a kayak, but we need a grabby attachment point on both the sterns and the bows. I'm going to show you some safe ideas and ways to rig your boat. A lot of the reason we have some sort of line on the stern is really to assist a swimmer. Also, if I see a rogue boat, I can grab it, I can get my hands in here. You'll notice though, I don't like this one for lots of reasons. It's really pretty loose. This is an entrapment hazard. We want to reduce any and all entrapment hazards in river environments. So let's just pretend this was one cord and it was tight. This is what we're going for. Anything that gets wet is going to get loose, so I might have to tighten up any of my rigging periodically, especially the more I go boating, the more I've got to tighten up my things. But however, I don't like this one because it's so thin. You can imagine you're trying to rescue a swimmer, help your buddy out. You're like, yo, grab my stern. And they're getting their hands cut on this tiny cord. It's kind of a bummer. Thicker cord, can check out this boat right here. This is what we're going for. If you're trying to help someone who's having a bad time swimming, swimmer, grab my stern. They can grab this with 1 hand, 2 hands. There's a lot of areas they can grab it. And I've been using this boat for a year and it's actually gotten a lot looser. So I can even tighten this one up. How tight do we want it? Just enough so someone can grab, but we don't want to be able to have someone fit an extremity through there. A more whitewater aggressive model, the Valkyrie, we don't really need any of that rigging along the sides. Similar to a whitewater kayak, it's got these grab loops already fixed with the boat on the stern. So some boats may have some sort of grab loop attached to the stern. If it does not, you've got to put that in yourself. A lot of pack rafting, for some folks, it's an add-on sport, or not just pack rafting. We might also be canyoneering or biking or hiking. So I recommend you look into ways you can find some sort of redundancy in your own systems if you're looking to save weight. I would not save weight by choosing crappy thin cord. Choose good cord that's going to stay on your boat and that someone can grab onto. The easier it is to see, right, the easier it is to grab. There's really differing attitudes in the Packraft and the river community about whether or not to have a tail. It's a highly personal choice. Technically, it could be an entrapment hazard, right? If this is trolling behind you when you're going along your merry, merry way. If you are choosing to use a tail, it needs to be a clean line. There's no loops, there's no knots on the end to get stuck in the river. It needs to be traveling. It gives the rescuer more options when they're helping you get your boat. So if you choose to have a tail, it's only on the stern. It is bright, it is floating, it's thick enough to grab, it's shorter than 1 meter. We do not put tails on our bows. We do want something on the front of the boat to be able to grab onto. Again, this could be useful in a rescue situation or if someone's trying to help a swimmer. This one has got a pretty short attachment point on the bow. This is perfect. A lot of Packraft models have multiple D-rings attachment points. It's up to you, right? If you're gonna thread it through the entire bow of the boat, the front 2 D-rings is sufficient, is good enough. Just depends on what you're doing. And I'll tie this so it fits tightly. Again, anything that gets wet will get loose, but I want a nice, tight thing that I could snap. This is a really good perimeter line on the bow. If it's really, really loose, this is an entrapment hazard. This is not okay. Again, thicker versus thinner, brighter colors are better. We used to strap our backpacks to the bow of the boat. We don't do that anymore in river environments. This whole bad boy is an entrapment hazard. When we were early generation packrafters, we were getting into the sport. Some of us didn't know any better, but boat technology has changed. What is safer and more acceptable than strapping a bunch of stuff to the bow of your boat is to use the T-Zip, the internal storage system. It's a safer, cleaner way to paddle in moving water environments. Lots of packrafters, however, have bow bags on the front of their boat. You'll notice this boat does not have any perimeter line. That's okay. This bow bag, which is fixed really tight to the boat, is that grabby attachment point. So instead of grabbing a piece of cord, I can get my hands on the bow bag. And this is a lot safer than having a backpack on the front of your boat. There's not a bunch of loose straps and junk hanging off of it. It's clean, it's tight. If the boat capsizes, it's not getting in the way. There's a lot of different manufacturers of bow bags. It's a Blue Duck one, it's great. And you'll notice how tight it is. What we do not want to do is attach non-locking carabiners anywhere onto this. It's another entrapment hazard. Can get in the way if you're having an out-of-boat experience. Generally, just attaching a bunch of loose stuff to the outside of your boat, not good. And I still see a lot of these S-beaners because a lot of bow bags came with them. We do not want any sort of carabiner that is going to involuntarily open or close. Only twisting, locking carabiners anywhere on a whitewater vessel. I see this happen a lot when folks are rafters getting into pack rafting. Yeah, these are inflatable boats, but we do not need a full perimeter chicken line. This adds a pretty big entrapment hazard. You don't need this, it's redundant, because we can grab either the coaming or the outfitting, the thigh straps. So we only want it on the bow and we want it on the stern. We do not want perimeter line or any sort of cord rigging along the sides of our boats. Whether you're on a multi-day trip or even an overnight, storing the gear inside of your boat keeps it drier. It helps your boat paddle more effectively, and it's also safer because you're reducing the entrapment hazards versus strapping a whole bunch of stuff onto the outside of your boat. One of my friends says, the T-Zip, it's amazing they work. This is a pretty vulnerable part of your boat. Make sure you take care of it. Check with your manufacturer's instructions into how to make sure the zipper effectively opens and closes. So you can imagine if it opened and wouldn't close, it's a pretty big hole in your boat. So storing the gear inside of the boat, I will not put a bunch of loose bits in there. 2 cargo bags, these internal storage cargo bags that I bought separately. There's lots of styles and varieties and models out there, but what's super important is it's got this clip. Female end of the clip is attached to the bag. The male end, I have already put it in there so I can clip the bag to the inside of the boat. That's awesome because I can have weight on both sides and it's not moving around. I don't have loose bits changing how my boat might carve or edge or pivot or turn. It's also safer for the inside of the boat. I'll clip it in. I'm only doing it on one side right now. But I'll do it on both sides. I've got all my gear, including my backpack. I put my internal storage collapsible frame backpack inside of that. It's a great idea. If your backpack does not fit inside of the cargo bag, that's okay. You can just let it sit in the back of the boat, but make sure there's no weight in it. It's literally just the backpack itself. And I'll blow up my boat, get in there, and go ride the river.